The deep Pacific Ocean is a void. Once you descend past the reach of surface moonlight, the water becomes pitch black, incredibly cold, and wrapped in a heavy, suffocating silence. In the summer of 1997, that silence was interrupted. Researchers monitoring underwater acoustic data pulled in a signal so massive it spiked the needles on their equipment and defied every standard model of oceanography. To understand the scale of this signal, we have to look at its range. This wasn't recorded on a single microphone. The exact same sound slammed into sensor arrays scattered across the Pacific, separated by thousands of kilometers of water. A localized event, like a shipwreck or a depth charge, cannot push a pressure wave across an entire ocean. For a sound to reach that far, it required a level of energy that immediately created a deeply unsettling mystery. The investigative process started with basic elimination. Military analysts checked for submarine activity and underwater detonations. Geologists reviewed tectonic logs for earthquakes. Every single lead came back negative. Then they examined the pitch. The frequency of the sound rapidly swept upward over the course of roughly 1 minute. In marine biology, an ascending sweep like that is the distinct acoustic signature of a living, vocalizing creature. This chart illustrates the maximum decibel output of a blue whale compared to the 1997 signal. The whale is the loudest known animal on Earth, but the acoustic spike of the anomaly towers above it. If the hydrophones were calibrated correctly, the data pointed toward a single conclusion. An undiscovered organism, vastly larger than any known creature, was moving through the darkness of the deep sea. To identify an unknown underwater source, oceanographers don't just listen to the audio. They look at it using an acoustic spectrogram, mapping the sound waves visually. This is the spectrogram of the 1997 signal. Notice how the shape of the data forms a clean, sweeping upward curve as time progresses. Earthquakes and volcanic eruptions produce chaotic, jagged spikes of static on a graph. But when a living creature forces air through its vocal cords to change pitch, it draws exactly this kind of smooth line. Look at the standard whale call plotted right next to it. The structural geometry is remarkably similar. The empirical data was creating an irreconcilable conflict. The visual structure of the sound wave mimicked an organic call so perfectly, it forced scientists into a biological hypothesis for a sound that should have been physically impossible. Understanding the specific environment the sound traveled through reveals how the data could be so misleading. The ocean is not uniform. It contains distinct horizontal layers, the most important of which is called the SOFAR channel, or the deep sound channel. This cross-section shows how water temperature drops as you go deeper, while the physical pressure increases. At roughly 1,000 meters down, these two opposing forces perfectly balance each other out, compressing into a horizontal acoustic highway. When a low-frequency noise enters this specific depth, it gets trapped. Instead of radiating upward or downward and dissipating, the acoustic energy keeps bouncing between the upper and lower boundaries. This allows the signal to travel across thousands of miles of ocean while retaining massive amounts of power. The Pacific itself was functioning as a global amplifier. The source of the noise didn't require the biology of a giant. It just needed to originate at the exact right depth to hijack this acoustic pipeline. Years later, investigators traced the signal back to its true source, the massive ice shelves of Antarctica. They were recording cryoseisms, massive, violent geological fractures. Millions of tons of ice were tearing apart under immense pressure and scraping against the ocean floor. The initial event was an explosive, chaotic crash. But as that raw acoustic energy plunged into the SOFAR channel and traveled for thousands of miles, the distinct frequencies moved at slightly different speeds, gradually stretching out and smoothing the jagged spikes into a clean, curved wave. The ocean's physical properties acted as a massive natural synthesizer. The immense distance warped the sound of a shattering glacier until it mimicked the pitch and cadence of a colossal animal. A biological sea monster and the collapse of an Antarctic ice shelf seem entirely unrelated, yet both events require a physical scale so massive that the human mind has difficulty processing the reality. It is telling that our first instinct, even among rigorous scientific minds, was to imagine a hidden monster. It speaks to a primal fear of the unlit void covering our planet. We expect the deep sea to be hiding something terrifying. The reality is that the deep ocean operates on a set of physics alien to our experience. It is an environment so different that its basic mechanical properties can deceive our most sophisticated instruments and our own senses. There was no Leviathan swimming through the dark, but the truth is equally powerful. The ocean is an acoustic space so vast and driven by geological forces so immense that it makes the Earth itself sound